my YouTube channel, King Kupa. Just type it in the search bar up top. We got everything you need. We got random funny videos, we got King Kupa music, we got vlog updates, anything a motherfucker needs.
What's up, everybody? We're here back for the second episode of the vlog. Probably do these once a month. I'm thinking once a month is a good idea because, you know, I don't have too much to talk about all the time, but sometimes it's good to give updates. Dog wanted to sit in this time. She loves it. I got a few questions that people have emailed in or messaged me, either on Facebook or text messaging. Whether you know me or not, I suppose, is which one you did. Yeah, there's been lots going on lately. I got lots of music I'm working on right now. Dealing with a couple of guys in the States right now. Nothing big, like nothing going to be on the radio or anything like that, but I got a couple of good artists down there that they're doing a mix and match kind of album with, where they're putting different unknown artists on different tracks with each other. So I'll be on a couple different tracks there with some guys from Detroit and Atlanta. I got lots of stuff going on there. Yeah. I got a bunch of people asking me how come there's no more advertisements on Redemption Game going on anymore, and they haven't seen anything or heard me talk about it in a while. The reason being is I have cut that project. Redemption Game is no more. What, girls? It just, I mean, it was good for the time when I thought of it, and that was kind of how I wanted to come back, but as I sit right now and how I've developed over the last few months into where I am now compared to then, it doesn't I don't feel it anymore, you know? Don't feel it at all. What? Can you kiss? No? You can kiss? Good girl. Yeah, so I got lots of projects on the go anyway. I'll be dropping, you know, music probably every week, every 2 weeks kind of thing. A lot of you guys heard that new skit, or new snippet I put up with a little bit of a faster rapping on it. That's a track called Victimize. That's ready to go right now. What? Yeah, it's called Victimize, and it is ready to go. It's been ready for a while. I've been sitting on it for a while. I've mixed it down 2 or 3 different times, 2 or 3 different ways, 2 or 3 different equalizer types. Just kind of sitting on that one. I want to go around and make sure on my own, without showing a bunch of people a shitty mix, that it works in every different kind of sound system. And once I hear it, you know, I've heard it on my TV, I've heard it on my Xbox, I've heard it on my surround sound system, I've heard it on my phone, I've heard it on headphones, headsets, I heard it in my car, I've heard it on my Bluetooth speaker, and they sounded really, really good on all of those, but that really doesn't seem to matter, because my first song that I ever did any mixing or self-production on was When It Rains, and that came out horrible. That was a goddamn nightmare. For my first time doing it, I had mixed it down, I had done everything as much as I knew at that point in time, and when I mixed it down and I started listening to it here, it sounded great on everything that I had, on all my systems, even in my car. But I put it out, and then I kept getting phone calls or texts or whatever, and a bunch of people telling me, you know, it sounds really, really bad, like not your rapping, it's the quality is like the bottom level of it, the bottom sound, the floor of the sound is gone. It was really thin, like a thin mix. So I'm like, what are you talking about? So I kept trying to listen to it here, and I couldn't get it to sound like that at all. So I went over to a couple different people's places, and I checked it out on their devices, and sure enough, it was true. And each different place that had a problem had a different problem. It sounded different, thinner in different areas of the mix, whether it was lower or higher or mid-frequency or whatever. So I ended up... What? Yes. I'm not talking to you. You just want food. You just ate. But I just ended up spending the next 2 or 3 days doing nothing but remixing that. And then I remixed it, I sent it privately to a couple of people who had confirmed that it sounded good and did probably sound good to them. So I re-released it and deleted the other older one. And turns out same thing happened. A couple people got it good and most people didn't. So I ended up doing that again. And now most people have it sounding good. Some don't. I don't know. On YouTube, some places the voice, you can barely hear it. It's too low. Other places it's perfect. I just couldn't figure that out. So I don't know. I've got it pretty much figured out now. I've been mixing a bunch of stuff down now, and so far everything I've mixed that I haven't released is sounding really good everywhere that I've played it. Like I go to different people's houses. I go as many places as I can that I can play it at. And so far, so good. Nothing wrong. So I just want to sit on it a little bit longer because I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to release something that is not perfect. That was a nightmare. So not the best way to come back. I do have a copy of When It Rains completely redone, re-recorded, redone, everything from scratch. That sounds great everywhere I've played it, but I don't know if it really matters to even release that at this point in time. I don't know. I might wait a while and then maybe I'll just kind of just put it up and take the old one down. I don't know. But at this point, I'm pretty much just moving on from When It Rains. Next one's Victimize. I'm really looking forward to you guys hearing that. I mean, you guys heard a bit of the first verse. That was just kind of a taste of what's to come in that track. I've really, really worked on that track for a long and hard time. Long time. A lot of hours working on spitting fast and writing the words properly to translate to spitting fast in the melody or flow that I have at that point in time. So, but in the end, it's really improved my rapping. I can rap pretty fast now. So I've got also a bunch of questions that people like emailed or messaged, like I said earlier, I touched on. So I'm going to answer a few of them here. I'm not going to mention who sent them or anything like that. I'll keep that on the wraps, but I mean, the person who sent it in is going to hear it and they're going to know it was them. That's all that really matters, right? So the first one is, who do you want to win the election? I mean, if you know me, you know my thoughts on who and what. I don't think it's really a good idea for me to touch on political or religious things when it comes to this platform, so I'm just gonna give you a pass on that question. Sorry about that. Are you going to do live shows? Right now, no, there will be no live shows right now. Eventually, maybe. Depends who calls. No one has called. If someone calls, then there's something to talk about. But I feel at this time that I don't have enough material out there to support doing a live show. And I want to be able to do that where there's enough people that know me and enough music material that I can freely do it and comfortably. I don't want to use any of my older songs because I just want to move past those. The only one that I'll probably take with me through any of that is Dusty in the Air Tonight, but I can't make any monetary gains on that song because of the whole Phil Collins part of it. But I mean, that's a song that'll stick with me forever because of the meaning behind it. What happened with When It Rains? I kind of just went through that already, the mix issues, which I believe and hope that I'm 100% past now. What is your writing process, and how do you write some of these really, really good lyrics that are, I don't know how people write, What is your writing process, and how do you create some of these really creative punchlines? Okay. I don't really have a writing process. I just grab a beat. First thing you do is select a beat. So you go through all the beats that you have access to. Yeah, you've heard enough of those too. And you just go through. I mean, for every 100 beats you hear, you're probably gonna like 5, maybe. And you got to take those 5, and you got to listen to them, and then figure out which one you like most, and whichever one you're really, really feeling. Like you feel that beat, and you feel that flow and that harmony in your head. That's the one you go with. That's the one I go with. And then, I try to feel the mood of the beat. whatever kind of mood it is, whether it's, depressing or happy or joyful or inspiring or dark, is kind of the way I'm going to try and go with it. So at that point in time, I sit there for days on end, as much as I can, with the beat blaring everywhere I go, just the beat blaring, even when I'm sleeping. So that's just ingrained in my head, every part of that beat. And then you sit and you just write. I don't know. I read the dictionary all the time. I'm constantly reading thesauruses and stuff like that. So, you just try and make the bars line up and make sure that all of your rhyming words anyways, are corresponding with the end of every bar. And I don't know, that's how I don't really have a way to write. I just sit down with the beat on and I write. And that's how it comes. What's with the fucking pickle guy? What's with the fucking pickle guy, and why did you freak out at that drive-thru guy like that over a fucking pickle? Well, the pickle guy, Artemis, this is kind of a funny story. I didn't just freak out on that guy for no reason. There's more to that story than was shown on the camera. I'll start with how this even started. I bought those burgers. I'd asked for them to be plain because I'm a picky eater. I don't like any condiments or anything like that, and I won't even wash dishes with the shit on it. It's a phobia of mine. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird to everybody. I know. I understand that. Point being this, anyways. I went to that McDonald's at 3 a.m. on my way home, and I had ordered that. First of all, I pull up to the automated thing where you talk through the voice thing to the person behind the window, and you order. I wait there. It's been about 10-12 minutes. I'm yelling at it, trying to get a response, and nobody. So eventually I pull up anyways to the window, second window at the end, and I sat there for probably about another 10-15 minutes before anybody even came. I'm knocking on the window and all this stuff, and finally this guy comes out and he opens the window. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. My phone ran out of memory, so I had to cut it and go delete some stuff." There's lots of videos and stuff. But anyways, where I was at, the guy came to the window. He opens it. And he started apologizing, saying that there was no kitchen on tonight, and he was the only one there, and he's doing everything. So I was like, all right, no big deal. So I made my order, plain, all this stuff. And he passes it to me after I paid through the window. I have a bad experience with not getting it plain, so I open it right there, and I check my burgers. They have pickles on them. And so I give it back to him. He goes back into the kitchen, not give it to someone else, went back into the kitchen. And then he comes back again, and he hands me the new bag. And I specifically asked him, "You didn't just take the pickle off, right? They're whole new burgers? Because I can't have any pickle juice on them or anything like that." He's like, "Oh, they're all new burgers. Trust me." So I'm like, okay. So I go home, drive home. I'm sitting there, and I'm eating them. And all I could taste is pickle juice. I'm almost puking. Now I'm pissed. I'm pissed because this is a big issue for me. Like, it turns me psycho. So I drive back to McDonald's at 4 a.m. now, or whatever it was, and I go there, and I asked him why he lied to me when I asked him if he just took the pickle off, and he lied to me again about lying, saying that he told the kitchen, when earlier he was the kitchen because no one was working there, and he ended up being the manager. So I mean, there's more to it than just freaking out over a pickle. But anyways, as I was going back, after I got home the first time, I made that video, sent it to my buddy, and as an update of what I was going through with the McDonald's thing. That was all taken privately for him, but we ended up finding it so funny that it turned into this, and now it's been 15 episodes on YouTube. And why do I do it was the second question that this person had, is because, I don't know, depending on your sense of humor, it's funny or it isn't funny. I can't tell you which side of the fence you could sit on, but I know that the side of it's funny outweighs the side of it's not, because I get the analytics on it, and a lot of people seem to be watching it. So, I mean, until it's dying off, why not get the views, right? Plus, it's funny. Some are good, some are not. As soon as I find that I'm running out of ideas and I feel like it's getting stale, and now I'm doing it just strictly for views, I'll stop. But that's the real information on that. That's what it is. And no, I'm not a freak who just freaks out on McDonald's guys like that. He was a bitch ass motherfucker, a lying motherfucker, and he deserved what he got. And I did not eat those burgers when I got home, by the way. I gave them to the dog. But I'm pretty sure that's all I got to say today. Probably be another vlog, I don't know, next month or something. So depends on what's going on. Could be a surprise one, maybe not. Anyways, you all stay blessed and have a good one.